This is Tim Bryce with my column titled, Are We Getting Lazy? According to a recent YouGov poll, American workers want a 35-hour work week and at least 2 weeks of vacation. The concept of a 40-hour work week may already be a thing of the past. According to the statistics provided in the report, American workers on the average spent 1,836 hours of work in 2000. That comes to 35.3 hours per week, not including vacations. And by 2014, this dropped to 1,789 hours for 34.4 hours per week, again, not including vacations. This is substantially different than the go-go years of the 1960s and 70s, when it was not unusual to work more than 60 hours a week. As an aside, office workers were normally dressed in suit and tie, drank a lot of black coffee, and smoked their brains out, but not so today. In the survey, respondents claimed their European counterparts were already working much less than we are in America. This mindset always puzzled me. Why should we care what other countries do? Do we really want to keep down with the Joneses? Historically, American workers were considered the valued resources which propelled our economy, but I guess this doesn't matter anymore. With workers less inclined to work additional hours, management is more inclined to seek new ways to speed up processes to maximize their efficiency. Normally, the need to improve speed in manufacturing has been met by improvements in technology on assembly lines, such as the use of robotics to expedite such tasks as welding. However, in the early part of the century, the Agile movement came to prominence in terms of how to quickly develop computer software. This movement was a departure from normal manufacturing methods and embraced an iterative process to develop software. For example, write some code, then continue to modify it until the end user accepts it. Some call this progress. I call it quick and dirty, and certainly does not promote craftsmanship or quality work products. For example, documentation of the program is considered optional, thereby complicating the implementation of future changes. For example, how can you change an office building without a set of blueprints? The same is true in programming. In other words, the Agile people want to expedite the process by skipping steps, thereby adding risk in the form of defects. By doing so, I contend this approach drives the maintenance backlog to grow inside, not to reduce it. The concept of Agile development has grown beyond programming and can now be found in project management, systems design, database design, and influencing other processes beyond the information technology field. Regardless of its weaknesses, this is how youth today perceives how business should be conducted and why managers are worried about defects in workmanship. It also adds to the perception by management that workers are lazy. Hence, a Theory X form of management ensues, meaning autocratic rule, or better known as micromanagement. Nonetheless, it is this mindset that is causing people to rethink the work week. Today, workers primarily worry about the amount of time they put in at work, not the work products they are charged to produce. In other words, a blue-collar mentality is flourishing throughout business. Under a Theory X form of management, the manager spends more time supervising than managing. This greatly inhibits worker ambition and innovation, hence the interest in doing less. This is why I am a proponent of Theory Y, where you manage from the bottom up, meaning you delegate responsibility and get out of the way of the workers. The only time the manager should talk to the worker is to provide assignments, receive status reports, and help them overcome any problems they may face. In other words, managers should manage more and supervise less. By treating workers like professionals, they will respond accordingly, and you will have fewer clock watchers. As an aside, Theory Y was the management philosophy of choice during the go-go years of the 1960s and 1970s. Friends, keep the faith. This is Tim Bryce in Palm Harbor, Florida. Follow me on the internet at timbryce.com.